Hi, this is Poster Girl. Welcome to Beyond Bandwives. These episodes are about independent, trailblazing women who are creative, self-assured, and community-minded. Ladies that are inspiring, intelligent, and have learned to take control of their own destiny. They are beautiful and bold, both inside and out, and are the very women I hope to emulate. I've got the pleasure of talking with Erin Roberts today. She is definitely one of the beyonds in my Bandwives and Beyond. And I told her earlier that one of the reasons that I really had her on my mind and wanted to talk with her because she really does exemplify what it looks like for a woman to take control of her life, even when things are not perfect, even when things suck sometimes.
Sure.
and make a life for herself, and I admire that greatly. I have gotten to know her. I've known her for a long time, but gotten to know her a lot better over the last few years, and I'm super proud of her. So, but why don't you just tell everybody a little bit more about yourself as much as you want to. How have you ended up with Shelby, and what got you here to this point? And I know we know you're looking at the next chapter in your life, but how did you get to this chapter?
We're going to be here all day.
You can give us the short version, or part of the version.
I'll just, how I got to Shelby, back to Shelby this time.
Yeah.
Because I've been back a couple times.
Yeah, you have. So, and you and your family moved here when you were in high school, and
when we were in like 10th grade, 9th grade.
9th grade, okay.
The end of 9th grade.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Went off to college.
Yeah.
Ran around, did crazy stuff. Finally graduated. I took an 8-year hiatus from college, but I went back and graduated. Had a lot of fun. And ended up as a strength and conditioning specialist.
Yes.
So I trained people for 20 years.
Yes.
And I had a studio in Charlotte on East Boulevard, personal training studio.
Yeah.
Which is right there at Myers Park.
Yeah, it is.
And I was making fine money.
Yeah.
You know, people pay for personal training in Charlotte.
And you're very good at it. That's one of how I kind of got back and connected with you a few years ago. Ashley McIntyre you were training her, and she said something about it. I said, oh, what, Erin, where is she?
Yeah. So I'm there just kind of cruising along with Adam.
Your oldest son.
Yep. Who I had Adam by myself and raised him by myself.
Independently, yeah.
And then I met this strapping young man and had another child. And I was 42.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be a nightmare relationship.
Yes.
Years of running away, hiding, and
dysfunction, to say the least.
Yeah, he was very abusive. And it took law enforcement to get him, and then the courts.
Right.
He's no contact with either one of us. And so I tried to maintain that level of business, but I had that baby on my crook of my elbow everywhere I went.
Yes.
I had to take him with me to work every day, every single day. And
yes, and most toddlers aren't very tolerant of, hey, let mommy show these people how to.
Yeah. Well, when he started getting mobile, especially when he started walking, I used to take his pacifier because he'd crawl over where we were with the cable machines or whatever.
Yeah.
He'd have his pacifier, and I would take it and throw it across the room so he would get hurt. He'd go get it while we finished our reps. So he got older. I put him in daycare and all that kind of stuff. And that just, I couldn't work during the early morning hours or after the work hours. And that's when people train.
That's when you needed to be working.
Yeah, so I was limited in my income and everything. And Adam, he was in a private school, and he was begging me to move here.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
They did a persuasion project.
Yeah.
When he was like in 5th grade. And his project was to persuade me to move to
Mr.
Shelby.
Wow.
He did
That was a smart guy.
a big drawing, and why I want to move to Shelby. Drew pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So Charlotte, it was crazy. I would leave my house at 7. I had to be at my studio at 8:30. If I didn't leave between 7:15 and 7:20, I would not make it on time.
Yes.
Because I had to go uptown, take Adam, then I had to swing back around and take Ian to his place, and then get to my place.
Yeah.
And the traffic was awful.
And it's always a sweet spot with the traffic, too.
Yes.
If you go, like, 2 minutes later, it's hell on wheels.
It took me over an hour to do a 5-mile radius.
Yes.
Yes. So every time I came home for Christmas or whatever, it's like when I came through Kings Mountain, it was like this weight lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah.
And so I was telling my mom that, 7 years ago?
And
I swore I'd never move back here. And she said, it was Thanksgiving, and she said, well, why don't you just move back? And I was like, okay.
So did she know about Adam's project?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I went, okay. And I thought, did that just come out of my mouth? She goes, yeah, you need, because he wanted to go to Crest with Eli.
Yes.
Crest Middle. So she brought me out to this neighborhood. I had never been out here before.
Right. Well, it probably wasn't here when you lived here before.
Well, it wasn't. This house was built in 1998. So, yeah. So she brought me out here, and there was nothing on the market at the time. So it took me a while. My house in Charlotte sold out from under my feet in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I ended up having to live with them for a little while.
Oh, okay.
But I sold my studio. I sold all my equipment. And packed up and moved here. And I was trying to train people and work at the Y and stuff. And it just wasn't going to,
Well, you still had the same situations that you did in Charlotte, where working early morning hours and after 5 hours is a difficult thing to do with 2 children.
Exactly.
One very young and one a little bit young.
I would train 4 women for an hour and make $250 an hour in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, that didn't happen in Shelby.
It doesn't happen here. So, my dad was so worried. He's losing sleep, worrying about how I was going to take care of us.
Right. Figure it
out.
out.
So, I was doing some Jingle Bell run donation asking around Shelby, and I walked into oh my goodness, Bill I can't think of his name. Yes, Bill Chambliss. God, I loved him. I walked into his office, and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm working at the Y. He goes, when are you going to stop doing all this and get your real estate license? I need 2 real estate licenses.
Okay.
He said, I need 2 realtors 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I said, Bill, I can't go. I've got 2 kids. I can't afford to go to school. And I don't have that brain anymore where I can.
Or you thought you didn't.
Right. I was like, I can't pass all that, because I had heard rumors. And he goes, yeah, you can. He goes, I'll put the money up, and you go, and then the first house you sell, you can pay me back.
So that's a pretty good deal.
I said, well, I'll think about it.
Okay.
So I thought about it and thought about it. I thought it was just a God thing for me. So I decided to do it.
Okay.
And went to school, passed everything the first time.
Yeah.
Then I got my South Carolina license. So I started actually making a living.
Right.
And taking care of my kids and buying them things that I've never been able to buy.
Yeah.
We went to all of the thrift shops for their clothes.
Yeah.
Or hand-me-downs. And I went, the first time I took them to the outlet malls. This was probably the second year of my real estate.
Okay.
And I bought them all new stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like, they were so excited picking out new clothes. So, it's just been kind of going. I've been working my tail off, and I bought my first brand new car off the lot ever.
Yeah.
A year ago, which I just was like, I can't believe I'm writing a check this big. My dad was sitting there right next to me. He was so proud.
Oh, I bet he was.
And he sleeps good now.
Well, I was going to say.
So
he has seen all your hard work.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are. I don't do much. I don't go out much. I don't do a whole lot, except for worry about them.
Well, your mom, you're taking care of your kids, and
Yeah.
I will be one to tell you that you will never not worry about them. As I'm sure your dad will tell you too.
Well, and
Though he
there's
sleeps better, he still has
yeah. I mean, Adam
out of his kids.
graduated summa cum laude.
Yeah.
Summa cum laude.
Mm-hmm.
Straight A's. Graduated with a 4.6 grade
Yeah.
point average.
Yeah.
And Ian was in he was in the junior beta club.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, that's my
Yeah.
job right now,
it is.
to make sure they are doing their job.
Mm-hmm. But so as we talked about a little bit ago, you're getting ready to start your next chapter. You
Yeah.
are moving. Ian has done his persuasion board, maybe in a different way than Adam
Yeah.
did, but
Yeah.
he said that he's a little bit of the catalyst for you doing this too. So I know everybody here around here in Cleveland County will miss you, but it's a big leap to take to
It is, and I'm kind of
uproot your life.
I'm almost 54 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The 11-year-old keeps me young.
Yeah.
He does.
You will.
And really, it was more my sister-in-law.
Okay.
My family calls her the Erin Whisperer.
Oh, okay.
She has
Yeah.
some type of influence over me
Yeah.
to do the right thing sometimes.
Yeah. Or gives you that permission to really think through, all right, well, wait a minute now.
Well, she'll be like, we're going to come to Shelby on, this weekend or whatever.
Mhm.
And she'll go, you need to come as soon as we get there. And I'm like, Julie, I will come. They'll get there Friday evening.
Yeah.
I'll be there on Saturday. I'll
Yeah.
be there Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, get here early. This is quality family time. And I'm like, okay. And my mom's like giving her
Yes,
high
Julie,
fives and
yes.
stuff.
The Erin Whisperer, that's pretty good. So didn't know she was getting 2 titles when she married into the family.
She didn't know she'd be my handler.
Yeah, that's okay. But you are a girl in a sea of brothers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, just needed that extra little. I mean, and a girl's mom is always a girl's mom, but it's sometimes
Yeah.
we tend to buck up against our mothers
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah. We sure do. My poor mom.
I'm sure she's very proud of you too, just like your daddy.
She is. Yeah.
So, okay, so just turn it just a little bit here because I want to know about, because when you and I reconnected, it was through training. You were my trainer for a while until your life got busy and you did the real estate thing and everything. And you taught me a lot during that time. I still every once in a while do some workouts. I'm like, okay, this is an Erin type workout. But so you still do your own. I mean, obviously you are still working out yourself and you have all of your equipment and
I
stuff.
have to do it different now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I have osteoarthritis.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
And so
And have had multiple surgeries.
multiple surgeries, yes. I have 2 artificial hips, a spinal fusion.
Mm-hmm.
I've had bones taken out of my hands.
Yeah.
Hardware in my feet.
Yeah.
And so, I just can't do the things I used to, but I'm glad. It's kind of nice not having to work out as hard as we used to.
Yeah.
I can do things like bar and wall Pilates.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Wall Pilates, or
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of these indoor walks with my little 2-pound
With your weights and
to
stuff.
YouTube. I just
Yeah.
go on YouTube and I do these things.
Are you doing it here at the house? Or are you going to the Y
Yeah,
or just
no, I don't go
wherever?
to the Y.
Yeah. Or I just say Y. When I say that, I mean any outside location,
No.
but you do your stuff here
Yeah,
at your house.
Yeah.
So,
because I can just go in there 30 minutes
yeah.
in my pajamas
Mm-hmm.
and,
Do your boys work out any with you?
I was going to the Y with Ian there for a while.
Uh-huh.
He likes those machines and stuff.
Yeah.
So we go every once in a while. Adam is his own beast.
Yeah.
He'll go and work out. I don't know where he goes.
That's his own thing.
Yeah. But yeah, he's always worked out and exercised and
Did you always do it that much even when you were younger and growing up, or is that something that sort of came out of you more in college and stuff? I know you were active in high school and
I
stuff.
started running in high school.
Okay.
Running up Peach Street all the way down to the Quick Stop or whatever.
Yeah.
Come back. And I lost weight because I was, I had body images, bad body images of myself. But I lost weight, and so I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to gain that weight back.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of evolved into learning and, loving what I did. Mm-hmm. When I graduated from college, I worked for a radio station in advertising.
Really?
A really popular country music station, yeah. And I hated it because I would walk towards a store window and people would start like diving under the desk and stuff because they knew somebody was coming to sell them something. And that would just tear me up, So
here comes Erin.
I quit. I was like, I quit. And I came home for Christmas, and my grandmother, she was like, "You quit your job?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "I couldn't stand it." And she said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know." She said, "When are you the happiest during your day?" And I said, "Probably when I'm exercising." And she was like, looked at me like I was a dumbass.
Well, there you go, girl.
So that's what I went into. And I went after the hardest certification you could get.
Okay.
And back then, we didn't have the computers.
No.
I had to order the materials, study, drive to Towson State University in Maryland.
Okay.
From Wilmington.
Oh my gosh.
And take a 5-hour exam with a pencil.
Yeah.
And then it was so hard. I walked out of that test the same way I walked out of that real estate test. There is no way I passed this test.
But you did.
Finally, after about 8 weeks, I got that
little
envelope, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And so I didn't want to open it, and I finally opened it, and I scored like an 82%.
Yeah.
And then the real estate, this was about 6 years ago, I guess. You walk out, and they tell you whether you passed or not.
You're right. Or you get an email very quickly.
No, you walk out, and you walk to the lady, and she'll say that you passed. You passed your paper.
I didn't know that.
So after I finished that exam, I sat there, and I just prayed. I was like, if I passed this test, Lord, it was not me. I know it was not me, because those test questions, they try to trick you, and they're worded weird, and you have
on the real estate thing.
Yeah, the real estate. Yeah. You have to read those. You have to read the questions and wrap your head around what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
So I finally got up and went out to the lady, and I stood there in front of her, and she goes, "You passed." I said, "The national and the state?" And she said, "Yeah, you passed." I was like, "Oh my God."
Really? Oh my God. Let me give you a kiss.
So I called Bill Chambliss, bless his heart. He passed away now.
Yeah.
And I called him, and I said, "I passed." He said, "I told you."
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes that's all somebody needs is like
someone
one person to say, "Oh, you can do that."
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yep.
Which is, but I think you encourage people like that too. I mean, in my experience with you, and those times when you are working out, and there's a difference in levels of things, but it's like, okay, you can do anything for another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to hear that.
Well, when I trained people, some people, I would do a lot of stuff for time. Planks and stuff. Say a plank, for instance. And some people wanted to know, tell me every 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. And then there's other people like me.
Yeah.
That don't want to know.
Don't want to hear it.
I don't want to know. When I did triathlons, I had people call me and say, let's go ride the course.
Yeah.
So that we know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to know what's coming.
Yeah.
If there's a hill, I will attack it. I don't want to
be thinking about it in the beginning.
Yeah. If there is a massive hill, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
Because I will dread it the whole way.
Right. That is fun.
I don't know what that says about me. I don't know.
I think it's just the difference in, like you said, how you attack a situation. And because I am one of those people that, I want to know what the time is as things go. And I would be out there riding the course with these people because I kind of want to know, okay, I've gotten the worst hill away done.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, is the worst one coming up? Is the worst one coming up?
No. I don't want to know. I guess that's kind of how my life is. I don't want to know what's coming. I just I'll attack it when it gets here.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. Prepare yourself as much as you can for whatever, and then just roll with the punches as it goes, so to speak. So, well, I'm going to flip this around just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And pull it back into music. You and I've never talked a whole lot about music. But so what is your favorite music? Do you have a favorite genre? Do you have a favorite?
I've been listening to Metallica lately.
Really?
Yeah,
all right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love his voice.
He does have a good
I love
voice.
all of it. I mean, if you look at my playlist,
Yeah.
you'll see the soundtrack from The Notebook, Sleepless in Seattle. Then you'll see Metallica. Then you'll see Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
Jazz. Yeah, whatever. I like it all.
Pops up.
Yeah.
You always had going back to when we were working out, you always had
Hip Hop Barbecue.
Yes. That was it. That was a good one too. I liked it.
I still love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent.
You just have to find the right thing for the right mood. So,
Yeah.
do your kids like tell you, oh mom, we've got to be listening to this. Not
when I took Adam for orientation to NC State,
he
played his music the whole way.
Yeah.
And he would go, "Do you like this one? Do you like this one?" And that was how we communicated that whole trip. Because they hate my music, of course.
Yeah, that's
I hate their music. So it's terrible music now.
Yeah. Some of it is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't get all of it either. Every once in a while, I can get something. I mean, I like Lizzo a lot.
I do like Lizzo.
She's just fun.
I do.
Can't help but
who's the other
bounce
girl?
on the seat to
the blonde-headed girl.
Dua Lipa.
No. All About That Bass.
Oh yeah, Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, I love her too.
I do. I like her too.
Yeah.
I do too. And I do like Dua Lipa too. So she's one of my favorites. But so if you could tell 12-year-old Erin something, what would you tell her today?
Oh my God. I think about these things,
Do you?
Yeah. And it makes me emotional because
It's okay.
I never liked myself.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never liked
Well,
myself.
you've kind of talked about that some in the past.
I think it. I'm not blaming any of my life on anybody.
You're right.
I think because it's the way I reacted to the situation. But my brothers and I, right now, Rob and I are Irish twins. We're not even a whole year apart.
Right.
So Matt is 51, Andy's 52, I'm 53, Rob's 54.
Yeah.
And my mother, bless her heart.
Yes. There's the real power there.
Yeah, she would take us to a barbershop and sit us in each chair. And so I was a little boy.
Yeah.
And finally, I remember I was 7 years old, and she finally let me get my ears pierced. But I still ran around with no shirt on at the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, she just dressed me like a boy.
Yeah.
So, and people at restaurants, are all four of these boys yours? And I would go, I'm not a boy. So, she finally let me get my ears pierced, but she only let me wear these little tiny things.
Okay.
And so people didn't see them.
Right.
And they still were like, are all four of these boys yours? She wouldn't let me grow my hair out. But we were all so close.
Yeah.
All four of us, and then I started changing.
Yeah.
I started having to wear a shirt, and I hurt.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go tubing and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think they didn't understand. And they kind of like...
You mean your brothers?
Yeah, I was changing, and so...
Y'all are all so close to, and plus girls tend to start that change a little quicker than boys do.
Yeah.
So,
And we lived out in the
probably
country.
were. Yeah.
And I rode horses, and
Mm-hmm.
we all played in the woods and built
Yeah.
forts and played
Mm-hmm.
cowboys and all that kind of stuff. So when I started changing, they kind of
Didn't think they could do that with you anymore.
ostracized me,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when I kind of started not liking,
Right.
because I was getting a little heavier and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I just started really being hard on myself. So I would probably tell 12-year-old Erin,
Well,
don't worry about those boys. Just
yeah,
love yourself and
I
go
was-
find yourself some girlfriends, and
Embrace it.
just love yourself.
Mhm.
You have an amazing, potentially amazing life before
There you go.
You
Yeah.
know, but because I had such a hard time, I've made lots and lots of bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always said, if you give Erin a choice between the golden path with the birds chirping and the rainbows on this side,
With the big sign that says "Go this way."
yes,
Yeah.
and then you give her this dark, bug-infested, howling thorns everywhere,
Uh-huh.
she's gonna go in those thorns as fast as she can.
Yeah.
I've never had bad intentions.
Yeah. I
You know, I really haven't. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I haven't hurt people and stuff like that,
Right.
but you know, I don't know.
And set out. So, well, I think that's a great thing to say. If we could say that to ourselves, get that little window when we're 12, and to be like, okay, I do know it's going to be all right, and that, like you said, that you can have an potentially
If you
amazing
love
life.
yourself,
So, yeah,
But it's hard to.
yeah, it's hard to love
do that when
yourself.
you're 12.
It is hard. It really is.
Ian,
Mm-hmm.
he just is so hard on himself.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got that same.
Well, he's got ADHD really
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's getting to the age where he doesn't want to take his medicine.
Oh yeah.
But we've talked about how he's old enough to start being able to control outbursts and stuff like
Exactly.
that. And
Mhm.
if you think you can go without it, then we could try it. you
Yeah.
know? So,
You just have to keep communication open and everything. So
Yeah.
Well, I told you earlier, but I will say it again because I think this is very true. When I buy wine, I just buy wine. I don't always think about like how expensive it is or what the level of quality is.
yeah.
I mean, not that I buy bottom shelf. I
buy bottom shelf. And I'm proud of it.
But I always buy wine for the label with the bottle. There's got to be something interesting about it. And I'd picked out this one because the people who are listening, I picked out some wine to bring over here this afternoon to talk to Erin. And I picked one out that had like a tree, and it said something about the dreaming tree. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. So I picked that. But as I was walking by, I saw this other kind. I thought, oh, what is this? I went and looked at it, and the name of it is Unshackled. And I thought, oh, that's perfect because Erin is just free and making her own decisions and
Finally.
not letting anything hold her back.
Yeah.
So that's what I chose.
Finally. You made a good choice.
Yay, you did. You always make good.
And it tastes good too.
So it is good.
Yeah.
It's very tasty. We have the Sauvignon Blanc if anybody wants to. I'll have to call them and see if I can get them to,
Yeah.
sit down. We'll do a little promo for
It's
them.
nice and it's a little grapefruity.
It is.
It is.
It does have
It's
that.
dry.
It does. Besides some of the things that you've kind of said, do you have any particular pet projects that you think are causes or things that are just really, really close to your heart that you would like for people to know about?
Well, when I get commissions,
Mm-hmm.
we have to fill out a disbursement document. And
Okay.
at the bottom, there's a North Group Cares, which
Okay.
is where you can donate some of your money,
Mm-hmm.
some of your commission to the North Group. And if a tragedy happens in the whatever, they can
Okay.
help out a family.
Okay.
So I was doing that for a long time. And then I thought, you know what? I want Ian to see me giving. I don't want to give my money
Right.
to somebody and not know where in the world it goes.
Yes.
So I'll take I'll take like $1,000
Uh-huh.
and cash it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go up to people, strangers. I'll go to Walmart and I'll go, Ian, let's pray about who we think we should get this $100, and I'll just put it in an envelope, and we'll go in the store and I'll go, who, you feel it? And he'll be like, I don't feel it. We'll walk around. I don't feel it. We'll go to another store.
Okay.
And we'll walk around and he'll go, that person. And so I'll just walk up to him and I'll say, I've been praying about who to give this to, and the Lord has just told me to give you this, and just put it in your pocket for now, open it later.
Okay.
You know?
Wow.
And they just look at me like, is
this real?
Fentanyl in here or something?
Yeah.
So I don't know what their reactions are.
Yeah, but that's okay.
And
doesn't matter.
I waited tables for so many years.
Yeah.
And I will give $100 tip in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And Ian loves it when I do that too.
I think that's so cool though that you're including your Ian in it too, because you've made him a part of what.
Yeah.
Of giving that.
He needs to know that you make money and you give and you help. Because I was in that position. I had no money. I remember sitting outside after I had Ian. I was sitting outside Harris Teeter, and I had gone in, and my card was declined.
Okay.
I had a credit card. I didn't have hardly any money in my bank account, so I was using my credit card. So I tried to get it, extension or whatever, additional credit.
Increase your limit or whatever.
So I called Bank of America, I'm sorry. Yeah. And the lady got on the phone and she goes, I can't increase your limit. I'm actually going to have to decrease your limit.
Oh my God.
Because of your spending, I can see. And I started crying.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't do that. I have 2 kids to feed. Please, please, please don't do this to me. And she just was like, I'm sorry, honey, I can't. I mean, I was just in tears outside that grocery store. And I remember, I don't know what I did after that, but I kept them fed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You figured out some other
Sometimes
path
I would have clients that were coming up on the end of their package, my regular ones that I've been training for years, and I would just, and it was so hard, I would call them, I would say, can you just go ahead and pay for next month early?
Yeah.
And they always would.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It was hard to ask.
Oh my God, it was awful.
It was, yeah.
So that's why I like to, you can tell. And I'm not being judgmental, but when you go to a big Walmart or something, you can tell. I'm not the one who chooses. It's the Lord who tells me who to give it to.
I was going to say, something gets put on your heart
yes,
that says
it does.
This is it. And it's not about questioning. I mean, and sometimes you can even look at it like it really doesn't matter what they do with it or what the situation
is.
Oh, no. You did what was kind of on you.
Yeah, just kind of like I'm like, I think it's that person.
Yeah.
So, and I keep hearing all these people griping about the people standing on the street corners.
I have too.
And I normally give them money. I don't know. They could be an angel
as well. So they could be. Well, and I understand sometimes people are talking about things and stereotypes become stereotypes because there's truth in it sometimes. But you never know about that one particular person right there. You can't cast. You cannot cast what your thoughts or what you've experienced or anything or what a whole bunch of other people do on this one person because you really don't know about that one person.
No, you don't.
And that's what I always say. Look, if you're not allowed to do anything, just drive off.
Yeah.
You don't. Nobody's making you stop.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I think that's beautiful. Beautiful lesson. I love that. And I mean, not lesson, but just a great way to think of it.
Yeah.
And to look at it. So, so I'm going to ask you this, but so don't think. What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh my gosh.
And if you say
Mexican food.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All righty. Like, do you make it yourself or going out wherever? Okay.
No.
It's just
no. No.
Mexican food is it?
Yeah.
All right. So what is it that you get? Anything and everything?
No, I mean, I still try to behave at the Mexican restaurant. So I'll get seafood,
Okay.
fajitas, seafood fajitas, or chicken or whatever.
Yeah. But just that,
The chips
that
and
style.
the queso.
Mhm. I
And
know.
it's just, yeah.
It's a little bit like an experience.
And I
when
love
you
the
go to
spicy.
the Mexican. Yeah.
I have to take my Tums with me. But yeah, I think that's my guilty pleasure.
That's a good one. I like that one too. I do. So, Erin, I really enjoyed our time here together today.
too.
And thank you so much for sharing a little bit of yourself. And I hope that there's lots of people who hear your story and you inspire them like you have me and some others. I know.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you this again at some other point too, but I'll say, not that I see you a whole lot these days, but I'm going to miss you being around here, but I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And a new
And
chapter in
I'll
your
be
life.
here. That's
Yeah.
another thing. My sister-in-law, she was like, Erin, Rob, that's my brother,
Yeah.
Rob will not come to Shelby unless we have 2 nights to spend.
Yeah.
She said, I've wanted to come to Shelby for one night and he won't do it. And she goes, we'll go see your mom every other week. Well, you'll probably see her more than, and so
Than you do now.
I'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
know you
still
will.
have lots of business here.
It does
over
seem like you do
there.
a lot of traveling.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I have to go to Simpsonville, to
Mhm.
Easley, to Landrum, to Inman,
Yeah.
to Boiling Springs, South Carolina.
Ooh, yeah. You're busy. That's a lot of traveling.
I have put 16,000 miles on that car, and it hadn't even been a year yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll drive 2.5 hours to show a
For that
house.
business. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
And that's about how far we are from where I'm
Yeah,
living.
where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was. So somewhere around there. But anyway, well, cheers to you.
Thanks for the
and
wine.
your new life and new chapter. And
Thank
you're most welcome. I'll buy you some wine when you come back.
I love you.
I love you too. All right. Thanks for listening to Beyond Bandwives. Look for our next episode. Until then, this is Poster Girl wishing you a beautiful, badass life.